I built the exact same website in Framer and Webflow to finally answer one question. Which one is better? After 7 years in the design industry and after building at least 50 websites in Webflow and Framer, I finally want to put an end into this discussion. And what I find out will actually surprise you. If you're a designer or a founder who wants to build their own website without code, and you still can't decide if you want to use Webflow or Framer, then this is the right video for you. So let's dive in. Before I show you the actual results, let me show you my journey when it comes to web design. As everyone in my age, I started out with WordPress, which was pretty good at the time, but I immediately recognized the issues I had as a designer. I don't think WordPress is actually built for designers, it's built for web developers, and I recognized the limitations quite early on. Then I discovered Webflow, and Webflow for me was a game changer. It was quite hard to learn, and still there are some things I still don't know how to do properly, but you can build websites, you can design every inch of it, and they're super fast and flexible. So I started delivering actual client projects with Webflow, and they were pretty happy about it. So eventually also Framer came out, and once I saw Framer, I wasn't quite sure what to do with it because I was quite happy with Webflow, but I gave it a try and I really like that it's very close to Figma. And after building more and more websites with it, I actually started loving the tool. And yeah, now I have two of my favorite web design tools, and I want to show you what I did there. So this is the website I'm talking about. It's called Planner, and this is the Webflow page. And of course, beautifully animated. Everything works. And in Framer, it basically looks the same. So it's the same website, same features, just different ways of building it. By the way, the website I'm presenting here is actually a real template that I put on the marketplace. So you can download the Figma file for free. It's on Figma. You just go to community and look for Planner website template. And you can even buy the Framer template and the Webflow template if you want to, explore it a bit more. I started off the whole project, of course, in Figma. I always start in Figma and designed out every page here. And this is built with the Relume UI kit. So Relume is amazing if you want to build in Webflow. Because you have those pre-made components, and then you can click here and clone the style guide to your Webflow project, which is basically using the same components in Webflow and in Figma. So if we go to the project here, you see that how all the components named and the styles, they already are created, named. It comes with a style guide that perfectly explains everything. And as a designer, this makes it so much faster to build in Webflow, and it's also more consistent. I use the same system for Figma, Webflow, and Framer, so it's basically the same components, just different different things. So let's look at the page. For instance, a few things I want to highlight is this animation here. You see this? Basically the cursors move. So in Webflow, what I did was I animated scroll into view. So if you select the whole wrapper and then you go to interactions, you can create interactions, and I created one for desktop, one for tablet, just because it's a bit different. And if you look at it, what I'm doing is selecting those SVGs, and they move. That's really it. I think there's what's the animation? Yeah, there's a Bezier curve on it, so it smooths out a little bit, but that's basically the whole animation. Yeah, things like this are also pretty easy. You just select the whole text, then you double tap or you select this specific one, and you create this. You click this button, wrap with span, and then you can style it differently in the same line. Either way, what I can also highlight, yeah, things I don't like this much is hover states. Let's try this button, or not this one. I don't know why, but I think in Framer this is way more intuitive. This is the button, you style it, and then you click here, and then you have the different states. Then you go to hover, and then you can design it here. Yeah, I don't know. It's I think in Framer, and you will see that later, it's more like in Figma, and then I think it's a bit easier to design. Yeah, and it also has a blog, and the blog is powered by a CMS. So you see they have images, text, whatever, and if it's purple like this, you know this is connected to a CMS or to dynamic input, and here it is name. So if I go to the CMS here, blog post, you can see that, yeah, I can enter all the content here. Here is the image, and this is the title that you saw. The cool thing, and that's why I love Webflow so much, is you can connect databases with each other, so they have relations. So this author here is actually from another CMS collection called authors, and yeah, you can just relate them, which is amazing. When it comes to SEO, I just click on the page here, let's say the homepage, and there I can set the title tag, meta description. I can upload an open graph image, and here there's also some options to add custom code. And custom code is something that I also want to highlight. This is pretty powerful in Webflow, and you could even, I don't know if it's here, no. You could even share the whole code of the website if someone wants to run it on their own server or use it themselves outside of Webflow. You can just export the code. The best thing about Webflow is actually how you hand it off to the client, because there is something called the editor mode. And if I prepare a website and send it to the client, this is what they get. So even if they have no technical experience at all, they just get a special link, and now they can start editing those elements. They can rewrite the text, and they don't have to worry about messing up any layouts or anything. And they can even create new pages if they are like CMS pages, or create new collection items, for instance, blog. You see, like this. And this is super easy and super simple for the client, and that's why I love using Webflow here. Now let's look at the Framer website or the Framer project. Something I really love about Framer, and what I don't like that much about Webflow, is how you build animations. This animation here is just 10 times easier than in Webflow. Also, this animation here, you see how this tilts in front, and even those logo sliders. In Webflow you still need custom code to get this done, and I will show you how it is in Framer. So Framer, if you go here, you have this layout, desktop, tablet, phone, and yeah, that's basically how you design for each screen size. It's less flexible, I would say, than in Webflow, because in Webflow you can specify, I guess you can also specify here, but in Webflow you have to switch between screen sizes, you don't have them next to each other. But this is easier to just look at it and change it. But yeah, it's very similar to Webflow, to Figma, and this is also the case if you design buttons. So you just create components exactly like you do in Figma, and then you drag a line like this line here, which basically says if you hover, you look like this. And that's so easy and cool. And yeah. Okay, looking at this animation with the pointers, which you saw in the beginning, for that, I'm gonna go here. And that's how I design it in Figma. I basically have two variants, variant 1 and variant 2, where this is at the bottom. And then you basically just, again, drag an arrow here, simple ease interaction. And yeah, that's basically already it. So if we look at this animation here, the tilting, yeah, I go to effects, on scroll, and then when the section is in view, I just animate it. So you can see here how the curve is, and yeah, basically from is the setting as it starts out. I can do 3D rotations, and yeah, how it ended up is just everything at 0. And that's it. That's how you do it here. And yeah, for those, this is called ticker, and yeah, you just enter the logos. That's it. The logos are here, and that's how you animate this. So this is super easy. Framer obviously also has a CMS, and they have a blog page. However, I don't find it that intuitive. I'm pretty sure if you focus a bit longer on the technology and you try to figure out Framer more, it becomes more intuitive. But yeah, this is basically how you set the CMS. You can add new fields. You can add a lot of settings to every field here, which is nice. But I just feel like it's easier to create those CMSs, and they're more powerful because you can basically create new pages out of a CMS in Webflow, and that's pretty amazing. But you can do something similar too. So this is a CMS page in Framer, and yeah, it's filled with the content of the CMS, and I can just try out the different content types. I can see how it changes here, and yeah, adjust. Now let's look at forms, because forms is something that Webflow Framer is just not good at yet. I'm pretty sure they will change it in the future. But you basically have somewhere here, you have this form component here, and of course a lot of integrations, which have a bit of a styling, which have less styling options, but the form builder comes with less functionalities. Looking at SEO, you can also set them in Framer. So you have your general site settings here. You can select the language, title, description, and then for each page you have your SEO settings here. I feel like it's a bit more intuitive, like Webflow is doing it directly in the editor on the page. but yeah, I think that works as well. So let's look at the final results. This is the Framer page, very clean and simple. And this is the Webflow page. Basically, yeah, the same. So now that we saw both platforms, let me give you my pros and cons for each platform. For Webflow, the pros are quite obvious. It's really powerful when it comes to CMS. You can do a lot of additional coding with it, and it is simply the best tool to hand off to clients. What I don't like that much about Webflow is that it has a really steep learning curve, so it takes some time to get used to it. And I don't like how they do animations and interactions. This is just 10 times easier in Framer. For Framer, what I like is it's so incredibly fast to build with because it's really similar to Figma actually. I love how they do interactions and animations. And because it's so similar to Figma, the learning curve is not that steep as with Webflow. What I don't like as much about Framer is the limited form capabilities, the limited CMS capabilities, and also less focus on actual client delivery, client handoff. So now to the final question, which one is better? And for me, there is no clear winner because I use Webflow for one type of projects and Framer for another type of projects. I use Webflow when I know I'm gonna build a huge website with a lot of CMS items and CMS collections. Maybe they need many different landing pages that you can just stick together with some CMS components. And if I know that the client wants to work on them on the website themselves, they wanna hand it off properly and edit content themselves, then I'm gonna use Webflow. I'm gonna use Framer if I wanna build something quickly and if I wanna make one or two landing pages that are beautifully animated and if I need it fast. So the real debate about Webflow versus Framer is not which one is better, but it's which one to use in the ideal case. I personally still use both, and depending on a client project, I will take either this one or the other. As you saw in the test, the output is exactly the same. It's just a different way how you get there. That being said, I hope you found this video is useful. Let me know if you are Team Webflow or Team Framer and why you think one tool is better than the other.